Welcome to the Digital Glue Podcast. These digital untangling episodes are brought to you by Crystal Kordalchuk, CEO and founder of Virtually Untangled. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who need untangling from the day-to-day tasks in their business. These virtual world untanglers never underestimate the power of a good idea. And if that sounds like a lofty goal, well, it is. A decade ago, Virtually Untangled was founded with the goal of creating meaningful digital experiences that connect with people. Crystal and her team of honorary untanglers are now providing business owners just like you the opportunity to own your story and share it with the world. So, every Tuesday morning, she'll be dropping a new episode that will help you think big and dream even bigger. Let's dive into today's episode.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by your inbox? Are old emails just sitting there making you feel bad? Are you tired of wasting time searching for what you need? Are important emails slipping through the virtual cracks? Are you feeling frustrated and lost, wanting control over your inbox again? Truth bomb. This was me for a while. Backtracking to 5 years ago when I pushed VU from part-time to full-time, I felt as though I was constantly rejigging my inbox strategy, looking for better ways to manage my email accounts. And yes, unfortunately, like most, I have multiples. I found all kinds of well-intentioned email advice and courses. However, all the advice I received just added up to a cohesive system that just didn't make sense. But I'm excited to share that frustration is long gone, and our nerdy organizational ways have yet once again saved the day. So today, I'm going to share with you just that. Our tried, tested, and true tips that help my team and I, and our amazing clients who we've helped with inbox stress as well, from being buried in virtual info and getting to inbox zero. For most of us, the pandemic has continued to blur the lines between work life and home life, thus making our inbox stress higher than normal. Most days, we feel as though we're simultaneously confronting the pressures of heavier workloads, possibly kids at home and elder care, resulting in increased burnout, among so many other things. And we've heard it from many. People are saying they're feeling less productive, less engaged, all around less motivated, and that they just don't feel as successful, let alone in a place of virtually getting things done. And just one of those reasons is that people are suffering from inbox overload. The expansion of the virtual work from home movement means we tend to heavily rely on email communication versus face-to-face interaction. And email fatigue is the cause of rising dissatisfaction with remote work. So we're here today in hopes to save the day with how to avoid all the nuclear options and help you handle email overload so you can decrease interruptions, reduce your stress, and boost productivity. Because I honestly cannot think of one single person who actually enjoys managing their inbox, including my team and I. But those emails are important and cannot get left lingering somewhere in the inbox abyss. Today will be short and sweet, but full of many tidbits. So grab a coffee and take some notes because we're about to get started. First and foremost, only touch it once. No joke. This rule is first for a reason. It's literally been embedded in our brains by so many individuals that it's the first rule we remind ourselves of every day, especially on bonkers, stress-filled days. What I'm saying here is to stop reading the same email a million times. Maybe your computer notified you on a desktop pop-up, or maybe your phone or tablet beeped and you look to see why. You know it's important, but time is of the essence, and it's not just something you can deal with right this second. So you acknowledge it landed and set it aside. Then when time is more on your side, you see it again, but something shiny passes you by, so you leave it unattended. If you think about it, those types of instances can occur multiple times a day. And before you know it, you've peeked at that email more than 15 times already. It's such a time sucker and brain space as it lingers. You know you're good at follow through, so stop adding undue stress by rereading. You will save yourself oodles of time by touching it only once. And this is how it works. Whenever you first touch that email, no matter where you are or from what device, decide right away what to do with it. You need to either 1, reply, 2, flag it for later without reading the whole email, just the subject line and the sender. 3, move it into one of your folders. 4, print a copy for later as a to-do reminder, especially if it's client or project related. 5, archive it. Or 6, just plain old delete it. Done. If you truly think about it, for every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned. And in the grand scheme of things, that's what we're aiming for. All right, next up, learn and use search operators. Before I dive into said search operators, this comes first. Writing subject lines to whom you're communicating with that are not only catchy, but are keyword rich. Your email hygiene doesn't have to be poor, so if your subject lines are clear, then they will also be crystal clear for inbox searching. The difference is in the details. Here's a quick example. Bad. Look at this. Good. Please read. Conference speech. Which brings me back to those search operators. The best tip I can seriously provide on this topic is that if you want better internal inbox searches, you need to be using more searchable terms. The more you use, the better your results, especially when you combine different types of search modifiers such as topic, subject line, sender, and yes, even dates. This will make you headache-free, well, mostly, when it comes to finding things in your inbox that haven't been sorted properly or touched in a long while. Okay, next up is something extremely common. Stop repeating the same email over and over and over. If you're anything like me, some days you find yourself typing the same email repeatedly. It gets annoying, and truthfully, it's a huge time waster. But guess what? There's a way to streamline this. You can reuse portions of your emails or favorite phrases that you tend to use in high frequency so you can stop this wretched rinse and repeat cycle. Plus, doing so will save you from carpal tunnel. Yep, stop writing them from scratch right now. How do you ask? Well, some platforms will allow you to save canned emails within your email settings. So that way, whenever you're composing a brand spanking new email, you can save it as a canned response and reuse it later. But if you happen to not be a Gmail addict like myself, there are alternate solutions. And for this, I am once again an Asana project management nerd. I created a separate team tab for all the things not project related and created individual reference tasks with the word email in all caps, followed by the subject line. Then within the task description area, I wrote the email exactly as I'd always like to use it. Fill in the blanks where necessary and subject line included. This way, all I have to do is hop into Asana, search or scroll to that section and task, copy, paste, and send. Done. Next up is another common one of folks getting bogged down by spam. Designate a throwaway email just for spam. We all, for some reason, love virtual junk. It's in our blood. Therefore, we find it super important to have a second designated email for such fun. And by doing so, you will avoid having important emails mixed with the ones for later or for play. Plus, when you designate a junk inbox, you won't have to spend half your day sifting to find the emails you know you need to tend to first, especially if project, team, or client related. And when you find the time, the rest are waiting safely for you in your junk account. Now, if that's not your jam, and you don't want to play inbox, there are of course many other options you can implement, such as setting up email rules and filters, setting up auto-filing for all received messages, email automation via a paid platform, unsubscribing to junk you know you don't need. With that being said, we're huge fans of unroll.me if you're looking for something like this. Keeping your notifications off so you can stay laser focused at all times, and turning off the unread badge, and 1,000,001 other inbox zero tips and tricks. But for now, these are our personal favorites of simple, easy to implement top tips for getting to inbox zero. And using these in your day-to-day will save you at least 1, maybe even 2 hours per day managing your email and your virtual stress. So if you can implement even just one of these simple tips per day, before you know it, you will be spending less and less time going through your inbox and have a lot more free time for what you do best. One last thing, just so you know, whether you have 50 messages in your inbox or 50,000 messages, Virtually Entangled can help you manage, maintain, and clean up your inbox in just one day. So if the overwhelm is way too much to handle, we got you. Just shoot us an email, or drop us a note in the DMs, and we'd be happy to chat about reducing your inbox stress from feeling buried in virtual info and chaos and getting you to a system of inbox zero.
And that's a wrap. Virtually Untangled is a full-service business, which means they've got you covered on design and content right through to digital and organization. You'll form a long-lasting relationship with them as collaboration is central to everything they do. Now it's time to seize the moment and become inbox friends. It's easy to do. Just hop on over to virtuallyuntangled.com or their Facebook page to opt in and receive instant access to the most inspirational ride of your life. So what are you waiting for? Become inbox friends with VU. Until the next episode, keep untangling.